What to look for when hiring a product design agency as a startup CTO or CPO. If you're a CTO or CPO at a funded startup, at some point someone on your team says, "We need a design agency," and then you're stuck evaluating 10 portfolios that all look impressive and mean almost nothing. Here's what actually matters when you're the one making that call. First, look at process, not just polish. Anyone can show you a beautiful final screen. What you want to know is how they got there, how they run research, how they validate decisions, how they handle the messy middle where requirements change. At Humbleteam, this is usually the first thing we walk clients through, because a good outcome without a real process is often luck, not repeatable. Second, check how they handle ambiguity. Early and growth stage startups rarely hand over a clean spec. Requirements shift, priorities change mid-project, and the right answer isn't always obvious. You want a team that asks sharp questions instead of just executing whatever was written down. This is one of the things founders mention most often after working with Humbleteam, that the team pushed back in the right places instead of just taking the brief at face value. Third, look for technical fluency, not just visual taste. As a CTO or CPO, you don't need a partner who only thinks in Figma. You need one who understands constraints. What's expensive to build? What creates technical debt? What will break at scale? Humbleteam works close to engineering on purpose because a design that ignores implementation cost isn't really a finished design. Fourth, ask about speed without asking about shortcuts. Funded startups move fast, and a slow agency can quietly become your biggest bottleneck. But speed shouldn't mean skipping research or testing. What you want is a tight, disciplined process that still moves in weeks, not months. That's the balance Humbleteam is built around. Sprint-based work without cutting the steps that actually reduce risk. Fifth, look past the portfolio to the relationship. Design isn't a one-time delivery. It's an ongoing partnership through multiple releases and pivots. The agencies worth hiring are the ones who stay involved after launch, not just the ones who hand off a file and disappear. That long-term mindset is exactly why many startups keep coming back to Humbleteam project after project, instead of restarting the search each time. So when you're evaluating agencies, don't just ask, "Do I like their work?" Ask how they think, how they handle uncertainty, how close they work with engineering, and whether they're built for a real partnership. If you want to see what that looks like in practice, that's exactly the kind of work Humbleteam does with startup teams every day.